Hello, good evening, everyone. I'm going to start the webinar now. Share my screen. Today, I'm going to show you how to use the macro builder, which can be found here. Utility menu. We see two menus for a macro, the builder and the player. We'll talk about the builder now, and we'll see the player after. Um, You see, I have a new session of Dragonfly. I haven't loaded any dataset, any object. So when I use the macro builder, I can program my own macro to do a few things. In I have those macros already. The examples are shipped with Dragonfly. So if you open Dragonfly, you can see this too. The others are programmed by myself. So for example, I'm going to use this one, porosity analysis batch processing. This is a name I given to this macro. I built it a few days ago. So I can have description and my identity at the author. So you see now this is a macro. This is made of all blocks. So for each block, you can either do a certain things. We'll go through all this step by step later. So just show you what I have done here. For example, this block will ask the user when it's executed, it will ask the user to select a file. Then it will load. Then it will load the file. So this block is asking the file. This is loaded file. This is give the loaded file to this object, which is defined by in this macro. Then we publish that, and for the others, we'll see. We create an ROI, then we do a range. We do an auto. Then we select the front the background. Okay, the pause, because we are going to segment the pause, so we get the pause ROI, but the pause will have also the background, the outside air background. So I use another to fix that. So from the whole volume, which is only the sample, the ROI for the sample. So I make the ROI, I make the ROI smaller by erosion. Then I do intersection of that ROI with the pore ROI, the pore and background ROI. So you can see here that then I get the pore area, the pore regions inside the sample. So up here I get the ROI for the pores inside. Then I publish to the list, to the session. So after I did a few analysis, like to generate multi-ROI from the ROI by connected component. So we're going to show you how to do this one block and by the other, like one by one. Before that, I'm going to show you if I want to execute this macro. So I close the builder is for making the macro. It's not for playing, not for executing. So if I want execute the macro, I have to use the macro player. So here I choose my macro. Here is porosity analysis batch processing. And if I do this one, this is play all steps. So you see the first is asking me to select a file. For the macro I wrote, it take only the OS object file. For sure, you can use some other blocks to make it load other format like TIFF format, a DICOM format. So it depends on how you make the macro. For me, I just make it simple to read only a OS object. So you see the object has been loaded and it's been the ROI has been created, and okay, now it's done. So we see this is the first step that will it loaded the image image dataset. Then it create, this is the second one, second step. In the macro, I didn't make it visible. If I want, I could do that. This is the second is made by O2 segmentation. So you take only the high intensity part. We see the high intensity part. The low intensity is the background outside the air, and I didn't publish it, so we don't see it here. Then I get this is another ROI made by the range, by the thresholding. So I got inside pores and outside air, and by intersection of these two, so you see this one is already eroded twice, so it's smaller than the original size. So by intersection these two, I get the pore ROI, which is this one. The color is not perfect. So if now I get the inside pores for this one as the point this ROI. And the next is to generate a multi-ROI for connected component analysis. So you can separate all the pores as classes. But I'm not going to do that today. Okay, I'm going to try some simple steps to get started the multi-ROI. I'll get the macro builder. I copied my macro as a screenshot here, just in case I forget how I did it, so I can go back there and I know how to do it again. It's not very easy to remember everything by heart. We have to try many times, and we get used to where they are located. Like first of all, I want to okay, I delete all of this. So the first is to select a file from, let me see, I should, okay, file. This is blocks, the category of blocks. For input, output, we have one category. So I go this category and see what's available as blocks. Okay, I want to, depending on what we want to do, I want to make simple now. So prompt the user for a single file with caption. So this is the one I want. So this block, I drag it here. This block will ask the user to select one file, and the caption is I can specify. So please select ORS object file, image file for analysis. For example, I can specify a message here. Then I want to give this file name to, well, wait a second, let me check this one. I load, okay, now I can load the OS object to a channel. I need to find where this block is, okay. So it should be not here anymore. But I don't use the macro builder very often, so I always have to search where my blocks are. There's so many blocks and so many categories, so you have to be careful at searching. I think maybe it's here. Load. Okay, here we go. Load channel from files. Did this the Y? Oh no, load an object. Okay, this is similar but not what I used, so I should keep searching. Load an object. Right, here we go. Load an object type. Well, every image dataset is a channel in Dragonfly. So I need this block. I can connect this block to this block. Now I have two blocks connected, and this will output something as a channel. So I need to define a channel for myself to use later. So I go ORS channel. Channel is for image dataset. So this is channel. Now I can set. Okay, I delete this one. By delete key, I can delete a block. Now I have connected 3 blocks. So this one output a file name, and this one take the file name and load the file as a channel, and give the channel to this variable, which is a channel. So I got this done. After this, I can do a publish. Publish will make the object visible in the list, the top right list. If you don't publish an object, it is in the memory, but you don't see it in the UI. So we go to publish. Let me see where. Oh, here we go. This is the block for publish. So I drag it and put it here. So I connected this as a workflow. So the second step is to publish my channel. So this is my first step for this macro. I can save it like demo macro. I would call it webinar demo macro. I save it either for current user or all users. Now I just save it for current user. This means Windows users. So it's already saved. To execute this macro, as I said, we go to macro player. We find this, should it be somewhere? Oh, I need to refresh. By this key, this will reload all the macro files from the disk. Now I have, I can see my new macro here. Now I can do play. Oh, it say, please select an OS object image file for analysis. Now I go again to this OS object file. And it's done because it's only 2 steps. One is load, one is publish. So after publish, we can see this. We see the visibility is turned off. So if we want to turn it on, that's an action we have to do with the macro. I think we have a block somewhere here. What I used. See, I use switch current view. We can change the current view. Let me try again where that block is. I think it's context. Yeah. So in the contextual category, we have the actions about the views. So I can say select switch current view to 4 equal views left. So this will change my layout of the view. And next I will make that visible. Show. Oh, it's not here. Where is it? We have to use it quite a few times before we know where they are. Okay. Let me see. This should be show a channel in 2D or 3D. I think it should be here. Reset switch. Okay, let me pick the message. Should it be? This is the first step, the difficult step to find the blocks. When we want to use more advanced methods, then will be have the second difficult step where the methods are. Now we are looking for the blocks. Okay, I don't remember which one it is. So, well, in the future, we may have some help. If you type, I wish we will have this kind of help when we type show, like show an object, you will find the block. You will help you find the block. So now even I know this show this object in 2D and 3D. I used that before, but I wasn't able to find it now. Okay, maybe there's something. Okay, I don't do it now. I will get back to this when I see it. So now I want to make an ROI for for all the pixels. Normally, when I do O2, I normally if I do it in the UI, I make a new ROI. Like this is an empty ROI. If I do invert, you see it get everything in this dataset. Then we can use the O2 to split this ROI. So first is get a full ROI. Then we split that full ROI. We'll get the foreground and the background. So I'm trying that's the same thing I did in this macro. I'm going to create an ROI. So first is the empty ROI. I want to create an empty ROI, create an empty ROI with the shape of the map of the data. The data is a channel, so I get a channel here. Then this is the my ROI for all the pixels. So I say all voxel ROI. You can name it anything you want. The color is preset with red. You can change it if you want. So this will create a new ROI with a shape, the same shape as the channel, the image. I need to give it to, I need to define a ROI variable. So this will go to ROI, OS ROI. This is all voxel ROI. Okay, now I set this one as this. So by this block, I create a new ROI, which is named op voxel ROI with the shape of the channel, the image, and this is the name. After that, I can invert this. So we have the ROI method for the operation of the ROI, so I can invert this ROI. The input will be, for this block, the input will be the ROI, Rvox ROI. Then I don't change the title, so I don't put anything here. So this block will invert the ROI. Then I will do the L2. Okay. For the L2, I can get the block first, which is this one. It's still in the ROI method. I have two blocks, the L2 background and the L2 foreground. So this block will take input as one ROI and also a channel, because for the L2 it will use the grayscale values from the image, which is the channel here, and it will split the ROI to two ROIs. One is for foreground, so this will output a foreground ROI to a new ROI. So I take this, then I give it the input. The ROI will be this one. I can select this and copy, Control C, copy, Control V for paste. I can copy paste and I put it here. The channel, I can do a channel, select here, copy paste. I can drag it here. So this block will take this two as input and it will output a new ROI as the foreground. So I could create a new ROI, which is my volume. So it's my volume. I call the whole volume because it has everything of the sample. So I take a whole volume. So this one will have the volume. It's from the L2 segmentation. It takes the output of the foreground. So this will be my volume, this one. But because of, you see, because of the O2, the inside pores may be excluded from this. So I should fill the inner holes. I should fill the inner holes. And also because some other holes are not labeled by the O2 method, so I not able to get this. So I will use another range segmentation to segment the pores. But if the pores has, if you think this is already very good for pores, of course we can fill this ROI and we subtract the field this ROI from the field ROI, you can get the pores. But what I want to do now is to fill the ROI. So okay, I'm trying to check the ROI method. So you see we have used invert, the block for invert, and now we are going to use the block for fill holes to fill all the inner holes. You can fill it in 2D or 3D. So I use the option of 3D. Now I get all voxel. I copy this, I paste, and I drag it here. So this block will fill all the inside holes, the inner holes of this ROI. Now, if I want, I can publish just to see it in the UI. So I can do, oh, I'm sorry, I should choose the whole volume ROI. Get the volume ROI is for the sample itself. The all pixel is the all voxel ROI is for everywhere. And now I get this one. Okay, let me save my block by the save button, and I want to execute again my block because I want execute from the beginning. So I delete everything. I just go player. I do my webinar demo macro. So, oh, I forgot if I reload everything or not, just in case I reloaded this again to get the macro refreshed. So it asks me to select an file. So now we have more steps to do in a macro. It loaded this, and it created an ROI from the metro, and it filled all inside host. So see everything is filled here. If we think we could get the pools by again, if I subtract this one before filling from the one after filling, I could get the pools, but that pools are from the O2 method segmentation. I think it takes only the big holes, which has the similar background, similar intensity as the outside air. Oh, give me 1 second. But we can try that for now. Subject, I want to let me just create npd boolean bird clear auto copy. Okay, I want to copy the ROI before I fill it. So I say I take OS ROI. I set my matrix ROI. Matrix ROI. So my matrix ROI is not including the pools. So I copied this. I copied from the whole volume because the whole volume after the L2, the whole volume does not include the inside pores because the pores have very low intensity, so it's excluded from the L2 segmentation. So I do this the whole volume. So I copy this ROI to the matrix before I fill all the holes for this ROI. And after that, I get the holes. Now I define another, which is my pole ROI. And this should be the, now this should be the Boolean operation result of this two. I want to subtract my matrix ROI from the whole volume ROI. So I'm trying to find the Boolean operation. It will be A minus B. A will be my whole volume, and B will be my matrix. So I take the matrix because the whole volume is already filled here, so it minus this one will get the pools, and this will take wait a second, Boolean title. Type to set, oh, this is not channel, this is my port ROI. So this will subtract my two ROIs and create a new ROI, which is only for in the pause. Now I want to publish that. My poor ROI. Sometimes I'm not sure if I have to create a new ROI, empty ROI first with a certain shape. For example, the poor ROI. Like here, I created a new ROI, the empty ROI with a certain shape for this. But for this one, I'm not very sure if I should do this creation first before I do the Boolean, or this will create a new ROI automatically. So if you're not sure, we just try. If we don't get an error, well, we should be fine. If we get an error, we come back and fix it. So I do this again. So I keep track playing my macro. So every time my macro has been changed. Now I have more steps to do. I load this. Okay, it's loading now. Now we see this is my object. This is the field hole. And this should be, let me check the color, change the color. You see this one is from the subtraction of the two ROIs. So it's the big holes in this sample. Of course, it's not the best. It's not the best result we can get for the pore analysis. We have much better solution for detecting the pores. This is a this auto method is only detecting big pores, not the small ones. So to detect the small ones, we probably have to use deep learning or other image filtering before the segmentation. But this is a very simple demo for using a macro builder. So you can build your own macro to do a certain workflow. And then you have the control for every object. If you want to change the